Hey guys, how's it going? Karai here, and welcome to my Game Week 2 Premier League predictions. So, as I said, I'm going to go through my predictions from last episode. I have them here on my phone, and in general, I think I did pretty well. I managed to get 2 out of the 10 results exactly right. Man United 2-1 Leicester, and Wolves 2 Southampton 2. Wolves 2 Everton 2, sorry. Which I think are pretty good predictions as well, especially considering I went back and revised the Wolves-Everton one. I managed to get 8 out of 10 predictions actually right in terms of result. The only ones I didn't get right were Bournemouth 1, Cardiff 1, and Southampton 0, Burnley 2. But, you know, I got 8 out of 10 right, which I think for the first predictions is pretty good. Alright, now it's time to move on to my predictions for Game Week 2. Once again, I have them here on my phone. For context, this is being recorded on the 15th of August, so a couple of days before the games start again, but I just want to get this out so I can get it out early. And let's go on to game number 1. So the first game of Game Week 2 is Cardiff City versus Newcastle United. And I think that Newcastle will win that game 1-0. I don't think either side has been particularly convincing in their opening game, although Newcastle did play very well against Tottenham. I was sort of unlucky to get a draw in that one. But yeah, I'm going to go for a Newcastle win. I just don't see Cardiff having much to fight with, really. Second game is Tottenham versus Fulham, and I'm going to go for a Tottenham 3-0 win. I think they're at their home ground, which is obviously Wembley, but because of the stadium issues. But yeah, I'm going to go for a Tottenham win. I think they've just got too much in the tank for Fulham, who are still adjusting to life in the Premier League, although they did play quite well against Palace. I just don't think they're going to have enough in the locker to beat Spurs. Alright, the next game is going to be West Ham versus Bournemouth, and I think that will be a 2-1 West Ham win at home. First game for Manuel Pellegrini at home. They did show signs of quality against Liverpool, although they were outclassed defensively. However, Bournemouth, I don't think will be able to. I don't think they've got the quality of player to easily unlock that sort of defence. So I think that, I think they're going to get a goal, and I think West Ham will see the game out and get the win. Next up, we have Leicester City versus Wolverhampton Wanderers, and again, I'm going to go with a draw for Wolves. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I think Jamie Vardy might get on the score sheet, but then also Wolves have a lot of attacking threat. I wouldn't be surprised if they win that game, to be honest. Again, I do rate Claude Puel, or Puel. I'm going to have a video on that later on in the week, maybe next week or the week after or something like that, about Claude Puel. But yeah, I just think it's going to be a draw again. I think Wolves, once they hit their stride against some of the mid-table sides, I think they'll get results against, but I think a draw against Leicester. Next up is Everton versus Southampton. Now, I am going to go for a 3-1 Everton win. Everton definitely started the season well with Richarlison, but if they can carry that on, then I think they'll be very much in good form. Southampton did not play very well against Burnley at all. They were second best throughout the entire game and really sort of deserved to lose that game. I think Burnley were much better. Everton, though, again, if Cenk Tosun and Richarlison can continue their form, then I think that they'll definitely have too much in the tank for Southampton in this game, and I'm going to go for a 3-1 Everton win. On to sort of the biggest game maybe of Matchday 2 is going to be Chelsea versus Arsenal, and I'm again going to go for a 1-1 draw. I'm not being too ambitious with these ones, but I just think the two new managers, it'll be Mauricio Sarri's first home game, I believe, and the first away one for Unai Emery. Arsenal did not look very good against Man City, but they definitely showed patches when they changed their formation in the second half. Brought Lacazette on to partner Aubameyang up front. I definitely thought that helped a lot. With Arsenal, they definitely showed a lot of signs of promise. Equally with Chelsea, they didn't look very convincing in the first half against Huddersfield, but they were much better in the second half as they managed to get an easy win in the end. So yeah, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw with Arsenal and Chelsea. I think it might be quite a conservative game, but then also, one team could win it. I think they're going into that one quite level. If I had to pick a winner, I would go Chelsea, but I think it's going to be a draw. Next on my list is Manchester City versus Huddersfield, and I'm going to go for a Manchester City 3-0 win. It could even be more than that. I would say 4 or 5-0, but I don't want to predict such a bold thing and have Huddersfield so put down. But I'm going to go for Manchester City 3-0 win. They look very, very good against Arsenal, and they look very, very good against Chelsea in the Community Shield. And I just don't think anyone in this early stage at least will be able to beat them. They've obviously got over their hardest game so far in the opening sort of 6 games. They've got a lot of easy games now, playing each of the promoted teams from this season and last season. So I think, again, 3-0 Manchester City win. I think it could easily be over in the first half as well if Huddersfield don't come out fighting. Third last, we've got Burnley versus Watford, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 Burnley win. I know I predicted them to win against Southampton and they couldn't quite. They probably deserved to. Meanwhile, Watford put in a very, very convincing display, and Roberto Pereira got 2 goals. If he can do the same again, then easily it could be a draw, or maybe even Watford could win it. These games are always extremely close. I definitely have an argument to make for Watford. I think they started the season extremely well, and I think the tactics they showed in that in their first game was, I think they've got a good base to build on. But I still think that Burnley will edge that one 2-1, although I think it will be quite a close game. On to the penultimate game, which is Brighton versus Manchester United, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 Manchester United win, or a 2-0 Manchester United win. I think they'll just have enough in the tank to get the clean sheet done. Again, they'll have more of their players returning from the World Cup, more players getting fitter and fitter as well. Maybe their lack of signings will shine through a bit, but I just don't think Brighton will have enough in the tank, especially the way they've started this season. They were not very convincing at all, and they're going to have to improve, but in the future to stay up in the Premier League, I think. And the final game of this predictions video, and the final game of Matchday 2, is Crystal Palace versus Liverpool, and I am going to go for a 2-1 Liverpool win. They've always found it quite difficult against Palace, I think. The time when they threw away the league at Selhurst Park that time. I remember that. I don't actually remember that. But Crystal Palace, Liverpool, 2-1 Liverpool. I think they'll just have a bit too much quality for Palace, although I think they could get run quite close to the end, actually. It depends if Salah and Mane decide to turn up in this one. So there you have it, guys. Those are my Premier League predictions for Matchday 2 of the Premier League. This will probably go up on the Friday. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Again, I have the Claude Puel video coming up probably next week. As well as a lot of more motorsport stuff. I've got Fernando Alonso to cover now that he's retiring from Formula 1. I played it a bit safe with these predictions. I'll probably get more adventurous as it goes on. I've got a slight video idea revolving around my fantasy football team in my league. So if you're interested about that, don't forget to leave a comment down below, and I shall sort of run you through what my fantasy team is every week. I've done a noob already and used my bench boost and my wild card. So first year for me, and I'm a bit of a noob, but if you'd like to see a bit of video around my fantasy football team, then again, let me know. Leave a like and subscribe, and let me know as well if you agree with the predictions, and I shall see you guys next time.